Hey guys, just arrived now to Frankfurt, not even put my bag down yet, and I am absolutely starving. I love Frankfurt. There's always a bit of a hustle and bustle about it, some like small places to visit, some small places to enjoy, and do you know what? Actually, I'm really looking forward to spending a few days here, so let's get this hungry belly sorted. Yep. I've just arrived now at Achol's. I'm really hungry, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the best traditional food in Frankfurt. So let's get in. So we've just chanced it and getting a table, and it's super busy here. It's 36 degrees outside. Everyone is outside this area. I think every table has been taken. We're squeezed right into a corner here, and you know what? It just proves how amazing this food's going to be. And if you're hungry as much as me, I will eat this table. I'm just so hungry, but I'm really looking forward to the dining experience. The waiter has been amazing. The young lady serving us has been really delightful. And you order online rather than use the menu at the moment. So actually, it's really 21st century living within the traditional world. So I'm really looking forward to this food. On a day where it's 36 degrees, there's no better thing you can have than a really good light beer. And that's what this is, really light, good flavour. Really, it's almost similar to a pale ale, but not as kind of floral or fragrance. It's just a really good quality light beer. I'm going to be planning on getting a few of these. So my pork belly just arrived, and it just looks like a thing of beauty, especially when you're hungry. It's like anything could look amazing, but this one truly looks beautiful. And it comes with obviously a good amount of mash, an amazing amount of sauerkraut, a nice bit of lettuce, or say rocket and a tomato, just kind of brighten things up a little bit. And then the pork belly itself, and I don't know if you can hear this, but that's the skin. That's exactly what a pork belly needs to be. I can't wait to tuck in and really enjoy the textures and availability of these layers that we'll have in that pork belly fat. So let's tuck in. That's so nice. Pork belly fat just melts in your mouth. That crackling on top gives you a wonderful different texture, almost like a charred texture, which balances with the fat, which balances with the really moist pork. It's a divine food item. I'm hungry, yes, but this is just perfect. I could eat like that all day. Now let's try and mix some of the bits and pieces, the bit that make it traditional. Sauerkraut, the mash, the jus. Mash is beautifully done, really nice and soft, whipped, not even chunky. Probably the best mash I've had in Germany, and I know it sounds really trivial, but mash is an easy thing to mess up really. This mash isn't too puree, it isn't too chunky, it's done really well. It's potatoes that have been whipped well, and it's just done properly. A bit of butter, a bit of seasoning, maybe some sour cream in some places, maybe some cream, but it's just done really well. And when you do things simply, you need to simply do them well. And this is a good example. Now let's try the sauerkraut. Sauerkraut with a bit of jus. This sauerkraut is really sour. A little bit more than what I think I've had before, but it really adds a weird dimension to it. This one definitely is sour though. Well, I mean that in a nice way actually. It kind of gives a nice, really different flavour between everything else. And if I was to mix that all up actually, let's give it a go. Sauerkraut and pork just goes so well. So well. I mean, no one does cabbage, for example, like the Germans. Every place I've been to, the cabbage has been better and better and better. And it's just, I mean, being Irish, I love cabbage anyway. But this sauerkraut, no one ever in the world does it like this. And this, yes, albeit sour, just as you combine things together, just give it a really good depth and variation to the meal. And it just fits. It's just perfect. So all these dishes just work really well together. And this pork, oh man, I don't think I've had better belly of pork in a German place. This could be my favorite dish regarding a pork item in Germany. Now we try the Frankfurt infamous Schnitzel with green sauce. This is presented in such a really pleasant way. You've got fried potatoes, you've got the beautiful green sauce, really like almost glowing at you. Bit of tomato, bit of rocket. It's a nicely placed schnitzel, which is a good portion, not a huge portion. In one of the videos I've done previously, I think it was in Cologne, Bayer Oberkleimen, we had a huge schnitzel, bigger than the actual plate itself. This one, too small, condensed, and really presented in a different way. But it looks great, looks really nice. I can't really wait to get to it. So let's give it a go. So let's try schnitzel by itself. Exactly what I'd expect. Really good schnitzel. The colour is great. It's coloured throughout. There's no different textures in regards to what it is. It's perfectly cooked. It's nice and flat and thin. It's a great schnitzel, but Germany offers a great schnitzel. What makes this so good? Let's try this sauce. Maybe a little bit less sauce, but let's go for it anyway. Man, wow. This sauce has snores. This sauce has loads of herbs, mint, coriander, basil, like loads to it. Like it's completely. It's an amazing herby green sauce that just seems to work so well with this fried item. I don't think I've ever had anything like this before. I can't compare it with anything, and I can't contrast it with anything. It is just the way it is, but it's perfect with the schnitzel. It's lovely. Fried items tend to be really heavy. This seems to lighten it. Lemons tend to lighten it as well. But this one just, even though it's a sauce that coats it, doesn't overwhelm the fried item, doesn't overwhelm the pork itself. What it does, it just seems to lift it. It still has its own characteristics, its own flavour. It just brings it so it's not so heavy, and actually it's very rare that happens. I think that's probably why the portion sizes work maybe so well, and with the potatoes. Potatoes are good, bit of garlic, bit of oil, bit of salt. Maybe with the sauce this will help as well with it. Yeah. That sauce lifts any fried item to it, allows the texture to be the way it wants, allows the food to be as good as it is. It just seems to lift it without overwhelming it. It's a lovely accompaniment, and I can see why Frankfurt is actually super involved with this, but more importantly, why it's so famous. So this pork dish was absolutely perfect, and do you know what? That sauerkraut is probably the strongest sauerkraut I've ever had, but it just seems to do so much for that dish, and it makes it so great at what it does. You don't need to use all of it, but you actually really do enjoy it. The sauce is great, the textures, the varieties, even the pork belly itself. It didn't have many layers of fat. What layers of fat it did have was still melted in your mouth like it was butter, but it was a really meaty dish, actually a really good portion, not a huge portion, but a portion that was perfect. It was perfect for its price, it was perfect for one person. Now this schnitzel, for me, I think may have been the best schnitzel I've had in Germany. The green sauce with the probably like 12 different herbs in there, like sorrel and parsley and mint, and oh god, there's just so much going in there, but it surprised me at how good it was. And I think actually that may be the best schnitzel I've ever had in Germany. That's up for debate, if I'm honest with you, and I want to think about it a little bit longer, but the portion was great. The colour, the texture, the thickness, the potatoes were done really well, but it was great. My meal here has probably been one of the best in Germany, and I find myself, whenever I go to a place that I've chosen, I find myself saying this could be the best, or this is amazing, but actually it's really tough when you select from such a wide range of local feedback and feedback from people that you know are from the country, and friends, and even like you look online, you do crazy amounts of research for what is best and what is local and what people do well, but actually it's a tough decision, and maybe it's my decision, but it's ones that I really feel that I put a lot of work in, and here is really good actually, and somehow scraped a period of time to eat my meal. So I'd really suggest coming here in any which way that you can, whether it's a weekend, weekday, whether it's late, whether it's early. It's worth the experience. The service has been great. The decor and all the things are quite traditional. The outside area or the winter balcony, as it were, everything is worth it, even the beer. And you know what? I can't suggest it highly enough. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a traditional apple strudel, which I'm really looking forward to have. This has been my first dessert I've had, probably in Frankfurt. And you know what? I'm not really a dessert person, but I felt the need to enjoy this, and I wanted to try it for all of you. Look at the sacrifice that I'm making. It's hard to hit with this bro. Okay. Oh my god, that's so hot. Oh, nice though. Loads of cinnamon, loads of apple. Quite a tough pastry if I'm honest with you. It does seem quite tough, but still pleasant. Good layers. A little bit too much chocolate crap thrown on top. But no, pleasant, nice actually. Good value. Would I order it again? Probably not. But it's enjoyable nevertheless. Good amount of apple in there. The pastry is quite thick, which I think that's a positive thing. Sometimes pastry can be really flaccid and full of moisture and things like that. This one can stand up against it. It's got a bit of texture, got a bit of resistance. It aids in the support of apple, which tends to be obviously a bit more softer as it's been cooked through. But it's nice. I think it's pleasant actually, to be fair. If you're a dessert person, or an apple person, you're not a chocolate person, actually this would be quite pleasant. Mixing that with a bit of ice cream maybe. Bit of vanilla ice cream like that. Actually I think that'd be quite nice. If I can cut it. So happy, so good. No, it's really nice. With the ice cream works pleasantly, really well. I think with the ice cream it actually works better than if it's by itself. Just the combination of hot and cold and apple and vanilla and the ice cream is quite nice. It's really pleasant. Loads of vanilla beanies thrown in there as well, so it's got good flavour. But pleasant, good. So now we're just about to try between what is known as a crepe and what is a pancake. So it's thicker than a crepe. It's thinner than a pancake, and this one's filled with loads of strawberry and kind of berry segments of it, to be fair. So I'm looking forward to try it to see if it's just as pleasant or if the fruit lifts the particularly doughy item as much. That's very sweet. If you're a dessert person, you love strawberries, this is the dessert for you. I'm not a dessert person, and I do like strawberries, so it's okay. I feel like you could have maybe benefit with an ice cream to balance the cold and hot, so it's nice. It's not me really, but I could enjoy it, but I can only enjoy one of the two that have been offered. I think the strawberries that's used is more of a syrup rather than fresh strawberries. So I think that's the reason why it's so strong and so strong and sickly, sweet and sickly. Does that make sense? If it was traditional strawberry, maybe with a bit of sugar syrup or some other like molasses thrown in, maybe that could be a bit of a benefit because then you've got more of a contrasting aspect. But I think it's a bit sweet for me. But pleasant overall, delicately placed. Presented lovely, and it comes with some extra thrown in fruit as well and some cream, and so it's nice. It's fresh cream. That's something that's important actually. Fresh cream is good. It's nice. It's pleasant. It's good.
But you have to join me.
Yeah, I'm going to for sure.
Okay, hold it like this.
Yeah.
And one hand behind your back. And
Okay.
you flip it into your mouth and drink like that.
Oh my god. I don't know if I can do that, but I'll give it a go. Fuck. I'm gonna definitely try that though.
I told you it's difficult.
I'm gonna end up with most of it on my face. Okay.
That's normal. That's how
Yeah?
it should be. That's how it should be. That's the fun of it.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah! You know, the intention is to keep your shirt wet. You know, all the time. That's
Cool. I feel like I've done it right with that. And that's how you take a traditional shot in a traditional restaurant in Frankfurt.